Well, after a week off, the Wolverines' trip up to Camp Randall is not what any of us expected or hoped for. Well, welcome back to my channel. I didn't expect to be making a video on Michigan football again for a little while, but the way the season is going, maybe this will maybe these will be a little more regular. So I'm making a video in the aftermath of the 38-14 beatdown up in Madison at Camp Randall. So I'm going to try to make this video quick for the sake of brevity. Everybody's talking about it now, but also I have to go somewhere shortly. Before I jump in and give my thoughts on yesterday's game, I want to just quickly plug John U. Bacon's new book, Overtime, Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines at the Crossroads of College Football. John U. Bacon is probably the what's the word I'm looking for? The official historian of Michigan athletics. So he's written numerous books on college football and on the program. He's from Ann Arbor. I used to enjoy, when they were doing it, I used to enjoy the Sunday show with him and Jamie Morris, but they stopped doing it. But I've only started reading the book. So far, it's pretty good. John's coming to DC in November, so I'm looking to get this signed. So once again, this is Overtime, Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines at the Crossroads of College Football. Okay. So it's yesterday's game. Very disappointing and alarming. And as you know, when these things happen with the college football program, maybe these things happen with basketball as well. But football is a while they're both revenue sports, the college football program at your alma mater, if it's a Big Ten university, for example, it's a really big deal. And particularly for one of the traditional powers, or one of the traditional programs like the University of Michigan, with its storied football program, this is a big deal. So whenever things are going bad, that's when the media really jumps on it, and everyone else just kind of jumps on it, and then you get the fan base kind of turning on itself and cannibalizing itself. So right now there are Michigan fans who are. I have one buddy who's talking about rooting for another team. Another buddy's talking about Harbaugh should go back to the NFL. Of course, he's an Ohio State fan, so they've been saying that for years. Someone on Facebook messaged me, or under a comment under a status post I had made, and she asked me if they should fire Harbaugh after this year. So the Sharks are swimming around, they sense blood in the water, and everybody's kind of pouncing on this right now. So I would just start this video by saying this is not a place that I think any of us thought that we would be at 5 years ago when Jim came back to the university, because Jim has Ann Arbor roots. Jim played quarterback under Bo Schembechler. Jim coached he played in the pros. He played for the Colts. I think he was the quarterback coach for the Raiders for a little bit before taking over as head coach at University of San Diego and then Stanford and then he jumped to the NFL, had some success there before coming back home. So this was like the coming home of the prodigal son. So I don't think any of us envisioned that we'd be at this point. I certainly didn't. I thought we would have beaten Ohio State at this point, despite the controversy from the 2016 game. And there have just been some struggles. And in my preview for this season, I think that I did say that following last year's Ohio State game, I think I really started to question whether or not Jim had the goods. And as you can see, I'm wearing this shirt called Michigan Undecided. I got this from the M-Den years ago. I did have a major when I was there, but I bought this shirt because I thought it was funny, and it's really an appropriate shirt for what's happening now. And so a lot of the media pundits, the sports commentators, friends on Facebook and social media, they're really attacking Jim right now, and some are questioning if he should leave, and some are even saying he should go back to the NFL. But yeah, I am kind of undecided right now about whether he can restore the program back to where it was or where it should be. I'm hoping that he does, but some things that I've seen have me questioning that. Just a couple things. Again, I want to make this video quick. Please click the like button. Please share the video. Please subscribe. A couple things. So the team had a week to prepare for Wisconsin, and the team was off to a shaky start against Middle Tennessee and Army. So with that week, you'd have thought that the team had enough time to at least make yesterday's game respectable, to make it more of a fight, to make it more of a battle, not to go scoreless in the first half and watch Wisconsin run all over the place and run up the score. We did lose Rashawn Gary and Chase Winovich and Devin Bush last year. So those were big three losses. Rashawn Gary was highly criticized by some, but we did have three big losses there. But still, at times, the defense looks very undisciplined, and the whole team at times looks undisciplined and unprepared for the challenge at hand. Yesterday was a big game, and in general, they looked unprepared. On the offensive side, I still don't understand why, with the advantage that we have at the wide receiver position, Nico Collins, Tariq Black, and Donovan Peoples-Jones played yesterday. I still don't understand why we are not going downfield to those guys pretty much every play. Our running backs seem to be hurt yesterday. Our depth, that Zach Charbonnet kid seemed to be hurt. And we really seem to be feeling the loss of Chris Evans. Chris Evans got suspended for something. They were pretty tight-lipped on what it was. But we have a lot of firepower outside. And I don't understand why the offensive coaches, Josh Gaddis and maybe Coach Harbaugh, didn't say, okay, well, we need to target Nico Collins, Tariq Black, and Donovan Peoples-Jones early and often. Because pretty much every time the ball went their way, they got a catch or they got a pass interference call. And Donovan got one where he got the pass interference call, but he jawed at the defensive back, and that pushed the offense back, 15 yards. Ronnie Bell's catch got overturned, so that was a bad call. We always do seem to get those on the road at some point. And it would have, if we could have scored on that first drive, if we could have at least gotten 3 points, that would have helped out. But for whatever reason, the coaching staff decided to hand the ball off to Ben Mason, who fumbled it, who hasn't really carried the ball much early this season. And it just it just doesn't seem like the team has been prepared up to this point for what they need to do, and the scheming and the play calling, that's coaching. So that's coming from up top. That's not the players. And this is all pointing back to whether or not our coaching staff has the goods to put our athletes in position to win these games. Some things I think in athletics can be controlled, such as discipline and penalties. And our team is fumbling the ball, so we're turning it over in key situations. And also we're racking up penalties that are assisting the other team. So it's not quite sure what's going to happen the rest of the season. That is a loss to a Western Division team. So in theory, the team could still have a respectable finish. And in theory, the team could tune things up and be clicking by the time Ohio comes in at the end of November. I tweeted and posted on Facebook that sometimes a good ass whipping can be a good thing, but the question now is, does our coaching staff have what it takes to turn this thing around? And I'm undecided on that. I hope that they do. I hope that Jim figures this thing out. He looks a little defeated. And I hope that we're not staring down another coaching change and another off season of controversy. So with that, let me know what you think. Please like the video, please share it, and please subscribe to my channel. Go Blue. And once again, always remember that your attitude determines your altitude. Take care, and I'll talk to you the next time. Bye-bye. Okay, so I'm back for a little outro here. I was out running around and some more thoughts came to me. One of the things that came to me was that, while college football is a big deal and it matters if your alma mater is winning, it's a business, and people want to see results. And as I started my career and I got further along in my career, I realized that these college football players are kids, they're student athletes, and I think that's something that we just need to all keep in mind as we watch these seasons and these battles for these championships play out. The other thing I thought about was that sports is a meritocracy, and it's all about results ultimately. And I think that there's a teachable lesson in what's happening with Coach Harbaugh and his staff here, in that no matter which position we're in, especially if it's a high profile, high prestige position, people are ultimately going to expect results. And for coaches at these big time college programs, once they sign on the dotted line and they get in there, the expectations are high and the clock starts ticking. And if you don't show what the fan base is looking for within a certain amount of time, ultimately your head goes on the chopping block. So there's just something, as this is all going down, for all the fanfare that went into Coach Harbaugh coming in, at the end of the day, people want results, and they can be very, very unforgiving when those results aren't forthcoming. So that's what I wanted to say, and I'm going to end this video here. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.